Hello, welcome to the Learn English Lab. Today's topic, how algorithms shape our lives. Have you ever had that uncanny feeling where your phone maybe, or even your car seems to know what you're going to do next, almost before you do?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Maybe it's that really subtle nudge from your smart alarm, waking you up at just the perfect moment, or that endless scroll through social media where somehow every single post feels like it was picked just for you.
It feels very personalized.
It does. It's almost like these invisible forces are quietly arranging things in our day, guiding our choices, shaping what we see and do, and we don't even consciously realize it half the time.
And those forces, they have a name.
Right. We're talking about algorithms, and they are way more pervasive, much more common than most of us think. They're just operating silently in the background of pretty much every digital thing we do.
Absolutely.
And while algorithm might sound a bit, sci-fi, like something from a novel, in reality, these complex lines of code are as normal in our lives now as, say, grabbing your morning coffee.
Just part of the furniture, really.
Exactly. So in this deep dive, our mission is to kind of peel back the layers. We want to really explore how algorithms touch almost every corner of our lives, from the second we wake up, through our work, our entertainment, and even how society itself functions.
It's a big topic.
It is. We want to unpack what algorithms actually are, how they work, the, amazing benefits they bring, but also their trickier sides. Sometimes the concerning downsides too.
Yeah.
And maybe most importantly, how you can stay informed and feel empowered in a world that's so shaped by them.
Think of it as your essential guide, maybe, to navigate this digital landscape we're all living in.
Yeah, precisely.
And it's so important, like you said. Understanding algorithms isn't just for, the tech experts or software engineers anymore.
Not at all.
It's really become fundamental, a basic skill for navigating modern life for pretty much everyone. Doesn't matter what your job is or what you're interested in. So our goal here is to give you the insights you need to really get a handle on this, but without feeling buried under a ton of technical jargon.
Keep it accessible.
Exactly. We're going to take a sort of walk through a typical day, revealing these algorithmic undercurrents that are always there, shaping your choices, your experiences.
Okay, sounds good.
By the time we're done, you should have a much clearer, maybe more nuanced picture of these digital architects working behind the scenes.
All right, let's dive in. So starting at the beginning, that word algorithm, it can sound a bit intimidating. It's abstract.
It can, yeah.
But let's try and demystify it right away with something we all know. Like imagine you're in the kitchen, okay? And you're gonna bake your grandma's famous chocolate chip cookies.
Sounds good already.
Doesn't it? You pull out her recipe card, the one that's maybe a bit worn out, it tells you. First, mix the flour, sugar, baking soda. Next, cream the butter and sugar. Then you add the eggs one by one, then the chocolate chips, and finally bake at, say, 350 degrees Fahrenheit for exactly 10 minutes.
Step by step.
Exactly. That recipe is an algorithm. At its heart, it's just a really clear step-by-step set of instructions designed to get a specific result. In this case, delicious cookies.
That's a perfect analogy. It
Yeah.
really is. Takes the fear right out of the word.
Hopefully.
And it highlights that core idea perfectly. But you mentioned grandma's recipe. Algorithms actually go way, way back, don't they? They're not some new invention.
That's true, yeah. I read about that.
What's really fascinating is tracing their history. I mean, we can go back centuries. You take the Greek mathematician Euclid, for instance, way back around 300 BCE.
Wow, that far back.
Yep. He developed a step-by-step process, essentially, an algorithm to find the greatest common divisor of two numbers. It's a defined procedure to solve a problem.
So same basic principle.
Same basic principle. Now, fast forward to today, and obviously things are different. Today's algorithms are exponentially more powerful.
Supercharged.
Totally supercharged. They combine incredible computing power with access to just massive data sets, huge amounts of information, and crucially, they often incorporate machine learning.
Okay, machine learning, that's key.
It's absolutely key. It means they have this amazing ability to learn from patterns within that data. They can actually improve their own performance over time automatically.
So they get smarter.
They get smarter. Think of it less like that digital chef just following the recipe exactly.
Right.
And more like one who not only follows the instructions, but also experiments. Maybe adds more chocolate chips next time because you like the last batch so much online, or tweaks the baking time based on feedback. They adapt.
Learning from what works, or what you seem to like.
Exactly. But at their fundamental level, whether it's simple like Euclid's or incredibly complex like modern AI, they all work on that same principle. They take input.
Like my search query or my location.
Precisely. Or your click history, or even your heart rate from your smartwatch. Those are inputs. Then they process these inputs through a set of rules or models, and finally, they produce outputs.
Search results. They're right on my map.
Or that movie recommendation, yeah. Targeted ads.
Yeah.
They are, quite simply, the backbone of modern tech. They're everywhere in our digital lives.
Okay.
So let's actually do that. Let's take that walk through a typical day and see how deep this really goes from the moment you wake up.
All right, let's start there. Waking up. My day, and probably yours too, very likely begins with an algorithm giving me a little nudge awake.
Your alarm clock.
Well, yeah, but if you're using one of those smart alarm apps, like Sleep Cycle, or maybe something built into a Fitbit, it's doing way more than just buzzing at 7 a.m. because you told it to.
Okay, how so?
These apps, they use pretty clever algorithms to track your sleep patterns. They analyze data, usually from your phone's accelerometer that detects your movement.
Right, how much you're tossing and turning.
Exactly, or maybe from your smartwatch's heart rate monitor. And the whole point of this analysis is to figure out the best moment in your sleep cycle to wake you up.
So not just waking you randomly.
No, by figuring out when you're in a light sleep phase rather than, say, deep REM sleep,
Yeah.
the algorithm aims to wake you then.
So you feel less groggy.
That's the idea. You wake up feeling more refreshed, more ready for the day, instead of feeling like you've been hit by a bus. It's subtle, but it's a real improvement to the start of your day, all thanks to an algorithm.
That makes sense. And then, okay, you're awake. What's often the next step for many of us?
Reach for the phone. Right. Start scrolling.
Exactly. Whether it's X, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, whatever your feed of choice is, the content you see there, it's definitely not random, not even close.
It feels curated, sometimes spookily so.
It is curated, meticulously curated by powerful recommendation algorithms. Think of them like super efficient digital detectives.
Okay, detectives. How?
They piece together clues from everything you do on the platform. Every post you've liked, videos you watched all the way through, how long you paused on a particular image or meme, even who you follow and interact with the most.
All those little signals.
All those signals. And based on all that detective work, they build this incredibly detailed profile of your interests. Maybe you love cat videos. Maybe you're into fitness tips or tech news. Gotcha. Their main goal: serve up more stuff that they predict will keep you hooked, keep you scrolling, keep you engaged.
Right, keep you on the platform longer.
Precisely. And they use some pretty sophisticated techniques to do this. One is called collaborative filtering.
Collaborative filtering.
Yeah, it basically compares your behavior to users who seem similar to you. So if people who like the same cat videos as you also tend to like videos about baking,
They might show me baking videos.
that might suggest them, yeah. Another method is content-based filtering. That one directly matches new content to stuff you've liked in the past. So if you like a bunch of posts about vegan recipes...
More vegan recipes appear.
Exactly. Or maybe ads for vegan cookbooks start showing up too.
Okay, I see that all the time.
And this whole process, it's powered by really advanced machine learning models. They're analyzing literally billions of data points across millions, even billions of users, all in real time.
That scale is mind-boggling.
It is. And it's why you can start, like one puppy video and suddenly your entire feed is just puppies.
Guilty. The algorithm learns fast.
It learns very fast. And it doubles down on what it thinks you want.
And this algorithmic influence, it doesn't just stop with my social feed, right?
Oh, not at all.
Yeah.
Think about checking the weather.
Yeah, I do that every morning.
Apps like AccuWeather or whatever you use, they employ algorithms to process this massive flood of data from satellites, radar systems, ground sensors,
All crunched together.
all crunched together to predict the conditions.
Will you need an umbrella? Is it shorts weather? That's an algorithm telling you that.
Okay.
And news.
News too. Platforms like Google News or news apps use algorithms to prioritize stories for you. Based on what you've read before, your location, what's trending globally or locally, it's personalized news delivery.
And my music. That Spotify playlist that seems to read my mind.
Definitely algorithm driven. It's expertly blending songs you've listened to recently with new tracks that are popular among other users who have similar musical tastes to yours.
So it's comparing me to others again.
Yeah, using that collaborative filtering idea, but for music. All designed to keep you listening, keep you discovering new stuff you'll probably like.
Okay, so from waking up refreshed to a perfectly curated social feed to knowing the weather and hearing the right music, algorithms are already all over my morning.
They really set the stage, don't they? Shows how personal they get. But then, okay, you step out the door, and that's where they take on an even more practical, almost indispensable role. They literally guide your path.
You mean GPS?
Exactly.
Yeah.
As you head out, if you use Google Maps, Waze, Apple Maps, algorithms are essentially your co-pilot. These apps rely on incredibly sophisticated routing algorithms. You might hear names like Dijkstra's algorithm or A-star.
Okay, fancy names.
Fancy names, but basically they're brilliant mathematical ways to find the best path through a huge network of roads way faster than any human could figure out.
Especially with traffic.
Especially with traffic, that's the key. They process real-time data constantly. Traffic speeds from other phones, road closures, construction updates, even accidents reported by other drivers on Waze.
Wow, all that data.
All crunched instantly to calculate the optimal route for you right now.
Ugh.
And if you hit an unexpected jam or make a wrong turn,
It recalculates immediately.
in seconds, yeah. Often before you've even fully realized you missed the turn.
Yeah.
And they're smart too. They factor in your preferences. Want to avoid tolls, avoid highways.
You can set those.
You can set those, and they even learn your habits. Google Maps might notice you always take a slightly longer route because it has fewer tricky left turns and start suggesting that route proactively.
That's pretty clever.
It's genuinely like having this super navigator friend who knows every single shortcut, every back road, except this friend is processing data from millions of drivers in real time to give you the absolute best path.
Okay, that's impressive. And then there's ride sharing, right? Like Uber or Lyft.
Oh, absolutely critical there. Their algorithms are the core of the whole system, matching you with an available driver based on location, availability, and crucially, the real-time demand in your specific area.
And the pricing. That surge pricing.
That's algorithms too. Dynamic pricing. It's basically supply and demand algorithms constantly analyzing how many people are requesting rides versus how many drivers are available nearby.
So when it suddenly pours rain,
And everyone wants a ride at once, the algorithm bumps up the price.
to encourage more drivers to get out there.
Exactly, to balance the market. It might not feel great for your wallet in that moment,
Definitely not.
but it's a really clear example of real-time optimization trying to make the system work even under pressure.
Okay. And even public transport.
Even public transport gets the algorithmic treatment.
Yeah.
Apps like City Mapper, Transit, they analyze official schedules, real-time bus and train data feeds, even walking times between stops.
To find the most efficient journey.
Right. And some are getting even smarter.
Yeah.
They can start to predict delays by learning historical patterns, like maybe that 8 a.m. subway line always runs 5 minutes late on Tuesdays.
So the app can warn you.
Potentially, yeah. Or suggest an alternative. It's all about using data to give you more foresight, make commuting less of a guessing game.
Okay, so algorithms are getting me to work. What about at work?
The workplace. Yeah, algorithms are increasingly like silent integral coworkers there too, shaping everything from how you even get the job to how tasks get done.
Hey, you get the job. You mean job hunting platforms?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Think about LinkedIn, Indeed, Glassdoor. They use matching algorithms. They scan your resume, your profile, looking for skills, experience, specific keywords.
Like project management or Python.
Right, to match you with job postings that seem like a strong fit, suggesting roles you might be interested in.
That makes sense. Saves time.
It does. But here's where it gets really interesting and maybe a bit concerning for job seekers. Many companies now use applicant tracking systems, ATS.
Okay, ATS. What do they do?
They use algorithms to filter resumes before a human recruiter even sees them.
Wow. Seriously?
Seriously, the algorithm scans for specific keywords, formatting, qualifications, and if your resume doesn't hit the right notes for that specific algorithm,
It could get rejected automatically.
it could, without a human ever looking at it. Which really highlights a practical tip for anyone job hunting.
Tailor your resume.
Absolutely. Tailor your resume using the exact keywords you see in the job description. It helps you get past that initial algorithmic gatekeeper. It's a strategic necessity now.
Good to know. Okay, so you get the job. Do algorithms stop there?
Not a chance.
Yeah.
Especially if you work anywhere near marketing or advertising. Ad targeting algorithms are everywhere.
The ones that make ads follow you.
Those are a big part of it, yeah. That's often called retargeting. You search for, say, new running shoes.
And suddenly ads for running shoes are on every website I visit.
Exactly. That algorithm is tracking your browsing across different sites, constantly reminding you about those shoes, hoping you'll click and buy. But it's broader too. Platforms like Google Ads, Meta, Facebook, Instagram, They use complex machine learning to analyze vast amounts of user data, search history, purchases, clicks, demographics, interests, pretty much everything they can, yeah, to serve ads that feel incredibly personal, to show the right ad to the right person at the right time, to maximize the chance they'll click or buy. It's a huge business.
I can imagine. What about other fields, like finance?
Oh, finance is a massive area for algorithms. High-frequency trading, or HFT, that's almost entirely algorithm-driven now.
Trading stocks really fast.
Incredibly fast. These algorithms analyze market data, price changes, news feeds, trading volumes, and execute thousands, even millions of trades in milliseconds, fractions of a second.
Faster than any human could react.
Way faster.
Yeah.
They react to tiny price fluctuations instantly. It's completely reshaped how stock markets operate. And it's definitely controversial, right? There are big debates about market stability and fairness because small individual investors just can't compete with that kind of speed and access.
Yeah, it seems like a different game entirely.
It really is. And think about retail too, not just online ads, but the whole operation.
Like managing inventory.
Exactly. Inventory management algorithms are crucial. They predict how much of a product is needed, whether it's iPhones for the holiday season or avocados for the weekend rush at the grocery store.
How do they predict that?
They analyze sales trends, seasonality, upcoming holidays, promotions, even external factors like weather forecasts. Like predicting a heat wave means stocking up on ice cream and BBQ supplies.
Smart. Using data to anticipate demand.
Precisely. And think about the logistics inside, say, an Amazon warehouse. It's a ballet of algorithms.
Robots moving things around.
Guided by algorithms, yeah. Organizing products efficiently, routing the robots to pick items for orders incredibly quickly. It's how they manage that massive scale and speed, and even those little suggestions online. Customers also bought.
Oh yeah, those are always there.
That's algorithms again. Using something called association rule mining. Basically finding patterns in what people frequently buy together. Phone case and screen protector with a new phone, for example.
Makes sense. That feels helpful sometimes.
It's designed to feel helpful and also to encourage you to buy more.
Right. Okay, what about healthcare? You mentioned smart alarms, but are there bigger applications?
Huge applications. And this is an area with incredible potential, but also, as we'll touch on later, some significant challenges around fairness and bias.
Okay.
Potential first.
Potential first. Diagnostic algorithms are getting really good. They can analyze medical images, x-rays, MRIs, CT scans.
Looking for signs of disease.
Exactly. Detecting signs of conditions like cancer, sometimes with accuracy that matches or even exceeds experienced human radiologists. There was that Google Health algorithm for diabetic retinopathy.
I think I remember reading about that, looking at eye scans.
Yes, analyzing eye scans to detect signs of diabetic damage, potentially preventing blindness through early detection. And the results were comparable to specialist ophthalmologists.
Wow, that's life-changing potential.
Absolutely. And beyond diagnosis, there's predictive analytics, algorithms analyzing electronic health records, patient history, lab results, vital signs.
To predict future problems. Or predict outcomes. Like identifying patients at higher risk for heart failure. Or predicting who might respond best to a certain drug. Hospitals can use these insights to prioritize care. Maybe bring high-risk patients in for checkups sooner, or allocate resources better, like scheduling extra nurses during peak flu season based on predictive models.
Using data to be more proactive about health.
That's the goal. But like I said, the data itself can be tricky. We'll come back to that.
Okay. It seems like algorithms are in almost every major industry now.
Pretty much. They're spreading far beyond what you might think of as just tech. Take manufacturing. Predictive maintenance is a big one.
Predicting when machines will break down?
Kind of, yeah. Algorithms monitor sensors on machinery, vibration, temperature, noise, looking for tiny changes that indicate a part might be about to fail.
So they can fix it before it breaks.
Exactly. Which saves a ton of money by preventing unexpected downtime and costly emergency repairs. It's like giving the machine a checkup automatically.
Makes sense. Agriculture too.
Agriculture is increasingly data-driven. Algorithms analyze soil data, weather forecasts, satellite imagery of crop health.
To optimize farming.
Right. Optimizing planting times, irrigation schedules, fertilizer application. The goal is to boost crop yields while using resources like water more efficiently. More sustainable farming.
Fascinating. Even creative fields, isn't that still mostly human?
Mostly, yes. But algorithms are showing up there too, often as assistants. Think about AI tools like Dale or Midjourney.
Generating images from text.
Yeah, creating surprisingly complex and original art based on a simple prompt. Or tools like Grammarly,
checking grammar and suggesting better phrasing.
Exactly. Using algorithms to analyze your writing and offer context-aware suggestions. They're not replacing human creativity, but they're certainly augmenting it, becoming tools for creators.
Okay, so algorithms are at work, getting us around, even helping create things. What about when we finally relax? Downtime.
Downtime. Algorithms are working hard there too, making sure you stay entertained. Streaming services are probably the most obvious example. Netflix, Spotify, YouTube, Hulu.
The recommendations, right?
Absolutely central to their business. Netflix's algorithm, for instance, is famous. It uses that mix of collaborative filtering, people like you also watched, and content-based filtering. Because you watch this sci-fi show, you might like this other one.
It tracks everything, doesn't it?
Pretty much everything. What you watch, how long you watch, when you pause, rewind, skip, what you add to your list, even what time of day you watch.
All feeding the algorithm.
All feeding the algorithm. So if you just binged, say, Stranger Things.
It might suggest another supernatural thriller, or maybe something else from the 80s.
Exactly. It's connecting those dots based on content features and your viewing habits. Spotify does the same with music, blending your history with genre trends and what similar listeners enjoy to create those playlists like Discover Weekly that often feel
Eerily accurate.
sometimes, yeah, they feel incredibly personalized.
And these recommendations are really effective, aren't they? I think I heard a stat about Netflix.
Yeah, Netflix themselves reported years ago that something like 80% of what people watch comes from their recommendations, not from people actively searching for a specific title.
80%? That's huge.
It shows how powerful these systems are at guiding our choices. They use complex stuff like neural networks, algorithms inspired by the human brain, to find really subtle patterns in huge amounts of data.
Neural networks. Sounds complex.
It is complex, but it allows them to make these incredibly nuanced predictions about what you specifically might want to watch next. It's not just simple matching anymore.
And they even test things, right? Like the little pictures for the shows.
Oh yeah, the thumbnails? That's a great example of subtle algorithmic influence. Netflix will often show different thumbnail images for the same show to different users, based on their viewing history.
Really?
To see which image works best. If you watch a lot of romantic comedies, they might show you a thumbnail emphasizing the romantic angle of a show. If you watch action movies, maybe an action shot from the same show, they're constantly testing which image is most likely to make you quick play.
Wow. That's optimizing down to the tiny details, all to keep me watching.
Maximize engagement. That's the driving force for many of these platforms, which, as you pointed out, can have its downsides too.
Right. We'll get to those. What about gaming? Algorithms there too.
Definitely. Gaming is a huge area for algorithms. Think about multiplayer games like Fortnite, League of Legends, Call of Duty.
Matchmaking. Finding people to play against.
Exactly. Sophisticated matchmaking algorithms work behind the scenes to pair you with players of roughly similar skill levels.
So the games are fair, or at least supposed to be fair.
That's the goal, yeah. To ensure challenging but enjoyable matches. They analyze your win-loss ratio, maybe reaction times, your playstyle, trying to find suitable opponents or teammates.
Okay. And single player games.
Even there,
Yeah.
adaptive difficulty is a thing. Algorithms can adjust the game's challenge based on how well you're doing.
So if I'm struggling.
The algorithm might subtly make the enemies a bit weaker, or give you a few extra health packs.
To stop me from getting frustrated and quitting.
Precisely. Keep you in that flow state, keep you playing, keep you engaged. Again, engagement is key.
Okay. And online shopping. You mentioned ads and recommendations.
Online shopping is fundamentally built on algorithms. Amazon's recommendation engine is legendary, drives a massive chunk of their sales, reportedly around 35%.
35% just from recommendations.
That was the estimate often cited, yeah. Using that item-to-item collaborative filtering we talked about, analyzing millions of purchases to see what gets bought together.
The frequently bought together section.
Exactly, or inspired by your browsing history. It makes shopping feel smoother, more intuitive. Maybe even a bit like they read your mind.
And encourages you to add more to your cart.
That too. And don't forget, dynamic pricing online.
Right, prices changing.
Yeah, algorithms constantly adjust prices based on demand, competitor pricing, maybe even your location or browsing history sometimes. That laptop you're looking at might cost slightly different amounts at different times or on different devices.
Huh. That feels a bit sneaky.
It's definitely opaque. It's real-time optimization for the seller, impacting your wallet directly, often without you realizing exactly why the price is what it is.
Okay, wow. Even my social life. Dating apps.
Even dating apps get an algorithmic nudge. Tinder, Bumble, Hinge. They all use matching algorithms.
How do they work? Swiping right or left?
That's a big input, yeah. Your swipes, the details in your profile, your stated preferences, age range, distance, etc. The algorithm learns what you seem to prefer.
Like tall, likes dogs, enjoys hiking.
Right. And it prioritizes showing you profiles that fit those learned criteria. Some apps apparently even factor in how often you message people or respond, trying to gauge your level of engagement and perhaps match you with similarly engaged users.
Trying to find compatible matches algorithmically.
That's the idea. It's this interesting mix of your personal choices and the platform's algorithmic suggestions shaping your potential social connections.
Okay, so algorithms are deeply woven into our personal routines, our work, our leisure. But what about the bigger picture? Society.
Yeah, that's where the impact becomes even more profound and sometimes more controversial. Let's start with news and information.
How we find out what's going on in the world.
Exactly. On social media platforms X, Facebook, Reddit, YouTube, news feeds, content ranking algorithms decide what you see first, what rises to the top.
And how did they decide?
Primarily based on engagement. Likes, shares, comments, retweets, watch time. The algorithm prioritizes posts that are getting a lot of interaction.
Why? Just to keep us on the platform.
That's the main driver for the platform, yes. High engagement means users spend more time scrolling, see more ads, generate more revenue.
Okay, but what's the catch?
The catch is that sensational, emotional, or polarizing content, clickbait headlines, angry rants, shocking claims, often generates more engagement than calm, nuanced, factual reporting.
So that stuff gets boosted.
It can get amplified, yes, which can, in turn, amplify misinformation or divisive narratives much faster and wider than they might otherwise spread.
I remember hearing about this after the 2016 US election.
That was a key moment where this became a major public discussion. Studies showed how algorithms on platforms like Facebook tended to boost highly polarizing political content, partly because it generated strong reactions, positive or negative.
Contributing to echo chambers.
Contributing to echo chambers, yes, where you mostly see content that reinforces your existing beliefs, and filter bubbles, where you're simply not exposed to differing viewpoints. It's important to note the algorithm isn't usually intentionally biased towards one political side.
It's biased towards engagement.
Exactly. It's designed to maximize engagement, whatever that content might be. And the consequence can be the amplification of extreme views over moderate ones, which can strain social cohesion and make finding common ground harder.
That feels like a really significant societal impact.
It is. And it extends into other critical areas too, like justice and public policy.
How so?
Some police departments, for example, use predictive policing algorithms. They analyze historical crime data.
To predict where crime might happen next?
Or where to focus patrols. Or even, in some systems, to assess the risk level of individuals. The idea is efficiency, using resources smarter.
But what if the historical data is biased?
That's the huge risk. If the crime data used to train the algorithm reflects historical biases, like, say, certain neighborhoods being over-policed in the past, leading to more arrests there regardless of actual crime rates.
The algorithm learns that bias.
It learns that bias and can end up perpetuating or even amplifying it. It might recommend sending more patrols back to those same neighborhoods, creating a feedback loop.
Leading to unfair targeting.
Potentially, yes. There was that well-known ProPublica investigation back in 2016 into an algorithm called Compass, which was used in some courts for sentencing recommendations.
What did they find?
They found it was significantly more likely to incorrectly flag black defendants as future risks compared to white defendants, even when controlling for other factors. The algorithm had learned patterns reflecting systemic biases present in the justice system data it was trained on.
Wow, so the algorithm wasn't objective, even though it looked like neutral math.
Exactly. It's only as objective as the data it learns from. And data often reflects societal realities, including biases.
That has serious implications. What about healthcare bias? You hinted at that earlier.
Yes, it's a major concern there too. We talked about the potential, like diagnosing diseases, but bias is a real problem. Remember that 2019 study in the journal Science?
Vaguely refresh my memory.
It looked at a widely used healthcare algorithm designed to identify patients needing extra care management. But the study found it systematically underestimated the health needs of black patients compared to white patients with the same level of sickness.
Why did it do that?
Because the algorithm used healthcare cost as a proxy for health need. And historically, less money was spent on black patients' care due to various systemic factors and barriers.
So the algorithm learned that lower spending meant lower need.
Essentially, yes. It encoded that existing inequity. As a result, Black patients were less likely to be flagged for the extra care programs, even when they were just as sick.
That's awful. Directly impacting people's health based on biased data?
It caused a huge stir and highlighted how crucial it is to audit these algorithms for fairness and use data that truly reflects health needs, not just historical spending patterns.
It seems like bias can creep in anywhere. Algorithms use historical data, education, hiring.
Definitely possible in both.
Yeah.
In education, you have platforms like Khan Academy or Coursera using algorithms to personalize learning, suggesting lessons based on student progress.
Sounds good.
It can be good, yes, but it could also potentially widen existing gaps. Students with better access to technology, reliable internet, maybe more support at home, might benefit more from these tools.
Leaving others further behind.
It's a risk that needs careful consideration. Ensuring equitable access and support is key. And in hiring, we mentioned the ATS filtering resumes. But some companies are using algorithms even further, like analyzing video interviews.
Analyzing how people talk or their expressions.
Yeah, algorithms that analyze speech patterns, tone of voice, facial expressions, body language, trying to assess traits like confidence or suitability.
That sounds very subjective.
It is, and it carries a huge risk of bias. Could the algorithm unintentionally penalize certain accents, or misinterpret facial expressions based on cultural differences, or favor candidates who fit a certain demographic profile it was trained on?
Lots of potential pitfalls.
Big potential pitfalls. Saving time is one thing, but ensuring fairness and avoiding discrimination when using these tools is a major ongoing challenge.
Okay, we've covered a lot of the potential downsides. Bias, manipulation, privacy issues. Sounds quite dystopian sometimes, but let's pivot back. Algorithms are useful, right?
Oh, absolutely. Immensely useful. Let's not lose sight of the good stuff. They genuinely make life easier and much, much faster in countless ways.
Saving us from information overload.
Definitely. Imagine trying to search the internet without Google. Before algorithms like PageRank came along, finding relevant information online was incredibly difficult, like searching a library with no card catalog.
Just chaos.
Total chaos.
Yeah.
Or think about online shopping without recommendations. Just scrolling through thousands of products trying to find a specific style of jeans? It would take forever. Algorithms cut through that noise.
And the personalization. My Spotify playlists, the GPS routes.
That personalization is a huge benefit. Tailored music, optimized routes that avoid traffic, news feeds that ideally show you stories you care about. It adds convenience and efficiency.
Yeah, I definitely rely on my GPS.
And beyond convenience, algorithms drive real innovation. In science, they're indispensable now for analyzing massive data sets. Think genomics, climate modeling.
Finding patterns humans couldn't possibly see.
Exactly. Accelerating scientific discovery. In logistics, companies like UPS use these incredibly complex optimization algorithms to plan delivery routes, saving millions of gallons of fuel each year.
That's good for business and the environment.
Win-win. And in entertainment or business, they help creators or small businesses reach specific audiences effectively. A niche YouTuber can find their global audience. A local bakery can target ads to people in their neighborhood.
Democratizing reach, in a way.
In some ways, yes. Breaking down traditional gatekeepers.
And you mentioned life-saving potential earlier, too.
Absolutely. This is maybe the most profound positive impact. In disaster response, algorithms can analyze satellite images incredibly fast after an earthquake or hurricane.
To find damaged areas or signs of survivors.
Yes, helping direct rescue teams where they're needed most, saving critical time, or predicting where aid will be most urgently required.
And public health, like with COVID.
During the pandemic, algorithms were crucial for modeling how the virus was spreading, predicting peaks, understanding the impact of interventions like lockdowns or masks. Those models directly informed public health decisions worldwide.
So they helped guide the response.
Significantly. So yeah, summing up the good. Algorithms are like these super smart, tireless assistants, making our world more efficient, more connected, arguably more capable in many ways.
Okay, so there's the good. But we definitely need to circle back to the bad and the tricky parts. Bias was a big one we discussed.
It's arguably the biggest ethical challenge, because algorithms learn from data, and data reflects the world, including its flaws, inequalities, and prejudices.
So garbage in, garbage out, but amplified.
That's a good way to put it. If the data is biased, the algorithm will likely replicate that bias, and because algorithms operate at scale, they can amplify that unfairness massively. The facial recognition example is stark.
Right, struggling with darker skin tone.
Because they were mainly trained on light-skinned faces, leading to higher error rates, misidentifications, with potentially devastating real-world consequences, like wrongful arrests based on faulty algorithmic matches. That NIST study you mentioned, finding systems up to 100 times more likely to misidentify Black or Asian faces. That's shocking.
It really is. It shows the danger of unrepresentative training data.
Hugely important.
What about manipulation? You touched on social media engagement.
Yeah, that's another big concern. Algorithms on platforms like Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, they are explicitly designed to maximize your time on site. That's their job from the platform's perspective.
Keep you scrolling.
Keep you scrolling, keep you clicking, keep you watching. And they often do this by prioritizing content that triggers strong emotions: anger, outrage, excitement, fear.
Because that stuff gets reaction.
You get strong reactions, high engagement. But the side effect can be addiction, encouraging compulsive use, making it hard to look away. That estimate of 2.5 hours a day on average on social media, algorithms are a big reason why it's so sticky.
Like a digital slot machine, always promising the next little hit.
Some psychologists use exactly that analogy.
And privacy, that feels huge too.
It's fundamental. Algorithms need data to work. And that data is our data. Our searches, clicks, locations, messages, purchases, even biometric data from wearables now.
Where does it all go?
Companies collect it, analyze it, use it to train their algorithms, target ads, personalized services.
Yeah.
Often the consent for this is buried in long terms and conditions we don't read.
Right, nobody reads those.
And that leads to that creepy feeling sometimes. You talk about needing new shoes and suddenly shoe ads appear everywhere.
Yeah. How does that happen? Are they listening?
It's often more likely analyzing connections between your search history, location data, app usage, maybe cross-device tracking. While direct audio listening is often denied by major platforms for ad targeting, the combination of other data points can be so predictive it feels like they're listening. But regardless of the exact mechanism, the point is, vast amounts of our personal data are being collected and used.
The trade-off for free apps and personalized stuff?
That's the trade-off: convenience and personalization versus privacy. And it's often not a very transparent trade-off.
Okay. And spreading misinformation. We touched on that with engagement bias.
Right. By prioritizing whatever gets clicks and shares, algorithms can inadvertently become super spreaders of false or misleading content. During elections or public health crises like COVID, we saw viral posts with completely baseless claims spread much faster than verified information simply because they were more sensational or emotionally charged.
And moderation efforts aren't perfect.
Content moderation algorithms exist, and platforms are trying, but it's incredibly hard. They sometimes make mistakes, flagging legitimate content, or they can be overly broad. And sometimes the sheer volume and speed of misinformation overwhelm the systems. It's a constant arms race.
And finally, sometimes they just mess up.
Absolutely. Algorithms aren't magic. They make mistakes. You get that completely weird Netflix recommendation that makes no sense for you.
Happens all the time.
Or your GPS tries to send you down a dead-end street. That's an algorithm goofing up. Maybe misinterpreting your data. Maybe hitting an edge case its rules didn't anticipate.
A reminder they're not perfect.
Exactly. They're powerful tools built by humans, trained on data, following rules. And sometimes they get it wrong.
Okay, so given this complex picture, the good, the bad, the biased, the incredibly useful, how do we navigate this? How do we stay savvy in a world so driven by algorithms?
That's the million-dollar question, right? It's not about opting out entirely. That's almost impossible now. It's about awareness and taking back some control.
So practical steps. What's step one?
Step one is just understanding the basics. You don't need to be a coder. Just grasp that fundamental idea. Algorithms learn from your actions, your likes, clicks, searches, watch time. That's the feedback loop.
So if I want better recommendations,
be more conscious about the signals you send. Actively dislike or skip songs you hate. Make an effort to like or engage with content that genuinely reflects your interests, not just what grabs your attention momentarily. Help the algorithm learn your true preferences.
Okay, be a more active participant in the feedback loop. What's next?
Step 2, break the bubble. Actively fight against the echo chamber effect.
How do you do that?
Make a conscious effort to seek out different perspectives. Follow accounts or news sources outside your usual sphere. If you're really into politics from one side, deliberately look at reputable sources from the other side. On platforms like X or Reddit, browse topics or communities you wouldn't normally look at.
Introduce some randomness or diversity into your feed.
Exactly. Don't let the algorithm only show you what it thinks you want to see. Seek out novelty and difference.
Okay. Tip 3, privacy.
Protect your privacy. Be proactive. Go into your app settings, your browser settings, your phone settings. See what data is being collected and shared.
Can you turn stuff off?
Often, yes. Limit location tracking for apps that don't need it 24/7. Opt out of personalized advertising where possible. Google, Facebook, others offer controls for this. Check privacy settings on websites you use regularly.
What about tools?
Consider using privacy-focused browsers like Firefox or DuckDuckGo. Maybe install reputable ad blockers or tracker blockers. It's about taking back some control over your digital footprint.
Right. Be more intentional about data sharing. Okay, number 4.
Set tech boundaries. This is crucial because algorithms are designed to hook you.
To maximize engagement, like we said.
Exactly. So you need to push back consciously. Use built-in phone features like screen time on iOS or digital well-being on Android. Set limits on how much time you spend in certain apps.
Actually enforce those limits.
Try to. Schedule tech-free times. No phones during dinner. Leave your phone out of the bedroom at night. These small habits can really help break the compulsive scroll cycle that algorithms encourage.
Makes sense. Create some friction. Number 5.
Question what you see. Cultivate a critical mindset. Don't just passively consume. If a post, an ad, a news headline seems too good to be true, or if it makes you instantly angry or outraged, pause. Ask yourself, is this designed to provoke me? Is an algorithm pushing this at me because it knows it gets a reaction?
Be skeptical of strong emotional triggers.
Yes, and cross-reference information. If you see a surprising news claim, check it against a couple of reputable, diverse news sources. Use fact-checking sites like Snopes or factcheck.org. Don't just take the algorithm's word for it.
Good advice. Okay, last tip, number 6.
Learn about bias. Be aware that algorithms can be biased, often unintentionally, because they reflect biases in their training data.
Keep that possibility in mind.
Always. When job hunting, don't rely on just one platform. Use several to mitigate the risk of one biased ATS filtering you out unfairly. When consuming news, try to find primary sources or raw data sometimes. Get closer to the original information rather than just the algorithmically filtered summary.
Understand the lens you're seeing things through.
Exactly. Remember, the algorithm is showing you its version of reality, optimized for engagement or whatever its goal is, not necessarily the full objective truth. Awareness is power.
Okay, those are really helpful, practical tips. So looking ahead now, what's the future of algorithms? Are they just going to get more powerful?
Oh, undoubtedly. They're becoming much more sophisticated really rapidly, thanks to huge advances in AI, especially deep learning.
We're seeing algorithms now that can write essays.
Generate stunningly realistic art from text prompts, music that sounds convincingly human. These capabilities are leaping forward.
So what could that mean for the future? Beyond cool, creative tools.
The potential applications for tackling big global challenges are immense. Imagine algorithms optimizing renewable energy grids minute by minute to fight climate change more effectively.
Wow.
Or predicting earthquakes or volcanic eruptions with much greater accuracy. Designing personalized medicines truly tailored to your individual DNA based on analyzing vast amounts of genetic and health data.
Huge potential for good.
Enormous potential for good.
But there are always risks with powerful technology, right? What are the new risks as algorithms get smarter and more embedded?
You're right, the risks evolve too. One big area is autonomous systems. Self-driving cars, delivery drones, maybe even autonomous weapons systems in the future.
Relying on algorithms to make critical decisions.
Split-second decisions in complex, unpredictable environments. If those algorithms malfunction or get hacked or encounter situations they weren't trained for, the consequences could be catastrophic.
Life and death decisions made by code.
Potentially, yes. And another growing risk is deepfakes.
Those fake videos that look incredibly real.
Exactly. Algorithms that can create highly convincing fake video or audio of someone saying or doing something they never actually did. The potential for spreading misinformation, manipulating public opinion, damaging reputations. It's incredibly concerning, especially in politics and media. How do we trust what we see and hear anymore?
That's a scary thought. It makes the ethics of all this even more important.
Ethics is becoming a central battleground. Researchers are working hard on ethical AI frameworks, trying to build fairness, accountability, and transparency into the algorithms themselves.
To mitigate bias, for example.
To mitigate bias in things like hiring or loan applications or medical diagnoses, ensuring algorithms don't discriminate. And governments are starting to step in too. You have things like the EU's AI Act.
Trying to regulate the technology.
Trying to regulate, especially high-risk applications of AI, mandating transparency, human oversight, robust testing. But It's tough.
Why is it tough?
Well, technology moves so fast, regulation often struggles to keep up. And getting global agreement on standards is really difficult when different countries have different priorities and values around things like privacy or state control.
A complex balancing act.
Very complex, and it's constantly evolving.
So faced with this complex future, what power do we as users actually have? Can we influence this?
Absolutely. We have more power than we might think. First, by demanding transparency.
Asking companies how their algorithms work.
Yes. Pushing for clearer explanations of what data is used, how decisions are made, what the potential biases might be, supporting companies and platforms that are more transparent and ethical.
Like choosing services that respect privacy.
Exactly. And supporting initiatives like open source algorithms. When the code is publicly available, researchers and the public can scrutinize it, build trust, identify problems.
So transparency builds trust.
It's a key component. And ultimately, as consumers, we can vote with our wallets, or maybe vote with our clicks and attention, choosing platforms and services that align with our values around fairness, privacy, and responsible technology.
Our collective choices can send a message.
They really can. If enough users demand better practices, companies often listen.
Okay, so let's try and wrap this up. We've covered a huge amount of ground. Algorithms. They're kind of like these incredibly powerful, multifaceted digital assistants, aren't they?
That's a good way to think about it. They organize our information, personalize our experiences, help us navigate complexity, from your alarm clock to your GPS to your Netflix queue.
Right, and the benefits are clear. Saving time, convenience, driving innovation in science and industry, even potentially saving lives. Huge positives.
Undeniable positives.
Yeah.
But, as we've spent a lot of time discussing, they're not perfect tools.
No, they can reflect and amplify societal biases in really damaging ways.
They can encroach on our privacy, collecting vast amounts of personal data.
They can be used to manipulate our attention and behavior, keeping us hooked.
And they can inadvertently spread misinformation or just make plain old mistakes.
So it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
Powerful, but needs careful handling.
Precisely. And that brings us back to the user, to you listening.
Right. The key takeaway seems to be that we are not powerless in this. We don't have to be passive recipients of whatever the algorithm serves up.
Not at all.
By understanding the basics of how they work, by being proactive about protecting our data, by consciously cultivating that critical mindset, questioning what we see, we can stay in the driver's seat.
Maintain agency.
Exactly. Maintain agency in our own digital lives. And as algorithms continue to evolve, which they absolutely will, our approach has to evolve too. We need to keep demanding that transparency, fairness, and accountability from the companies and developers building these systems.
It's an ongoing conversation, an ongoing responsibility for all of us.
It really is. So maybe a final thought for everyone listening. The next time you find yourself scrolling through your feed or following those GPS directions without thinking, or getting totally absorbed in a show Netflix recommended, just take a brief moment. Appreciate the incredible, intricate algorithms at work behind the scenes.
Acknowledge their power.
Acknowledge their power. And then take another moment to consider, how are they shaping your world, your choices, your perceptions, your experiences? What stands out to you from our deep dive today? Have algorithms ever really surprised you, maybe annoyed you intensely, or perhaps genuinely made your life noticeably better? Something to ponder.
Definitely food for thought.
If you enjoyed this deep dive and found it useful, please do remember to like this video, share it with others who might be interested, and subscribe to this YouTube channel for more insightful conversations on topics that shape our world. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks, everyone.